Hi everyone, Ree from mummyoffour.com here. I help busy mums make their lives easier with parenting tips, tricks, hacks and advice. Today I have got a question sent in over on Instagram. If you're not following me over there, go and do that immediately please, mummyoffour.uk. Anyway, the question was, her 16-month-old has been waking up before 6 a.m. every morning for the last few weeks. She's tried changing nap times and bedtimes, nothing has worked. Do I have any advice? And then she also added in, because I wanted to know when he was currently napping, that he's potentially sleeping from 10 till 12 in the day and then maybe 3 till 5 and then he goes down at 7, no problem. She's tried napping at 11:30 instead but she only tried it for 2 days and it made no difference. So, a few things before we get started. So there are numerous things that can cause early morning waking in little ones, especially toddlers. Now, the first one that I would always check is that your toddler's room is as dark as a cave because when light comes in, even cracks of light comes in through the window, it triggers the hormones in our bodies that tell us it's time to wake up, and toddlers are no different at all. So make sure that you've got a blackout blind and curtains. A tip I've shared before is if you really need to very quickly black out your child's room, if you wet one side of tin foil and stick it to the glass, it acts as a really good blackout blind. So that is a quick tip if you are just, before you can even Amazon Prime yourself a blackout blind, you could do that straight away. So yeah, making sure that the room is so dark, especially as we're moving towards the summer. And the mornings are going to get lighter and lighter. You want to make sure that the room is as dark as a cave. So that's my first point. Then obviously the next point is looking at kind of routine and things. I had so many questions about routine. I've done quite a few videos about routine so far recently, and I've got more on the way. I will link those below. But yeah, so basically, I've got a full post about routine, including a download, and that does the sort of month-by-month guide for how your baby, a routine that will fit with your baby from birth up until age 1. Now, from age 1, they kind of move on to what Zara does, which is waking up sort of by 7 in the morning. So you've got to get them up by 7 in the morning. And that's what we're kind of hoping to move Mary's toddler back onto, is sort of getting up at 7 in the morning, not before 6, because before 6 is night time, isn't it? Let's face it. Between 6 and 7 is early, and then before 6 is just night time still. So basically you get them up at 7. At the moment, Mary is putting her son back down at 10. Now what happens is this kind of is a sort of a self-perpetuating thing. So because he's got up so early in the morning, by 10 o'clock the poor child's on his knees and he really needs a nap. So by 10 o'clock he's desperate and he will have a really nice long nap. And then so that can cause problems for early morning waking, because if you move their nap back and back earlier in the morning and you do this frequently, then it is going to cause early morning waking. So I would suggest that toddlers are napping after they've had their lunch. Now, toddlers can have their lunch quite early. Sometimes might have, start lunch. They take ages to eat lunch. They've been known to start lunch at 11, half 11. My girls, I would probably, if it wasn't for school runs and things, I'd probably get them down in an ideal world at 12:30 every day. But the way it works with Bella's school runs and things, they go down at sort of 10 to 1 and they're asleep by 1. And they do not sleep for more than 90 minutes. Now, obviously, all children are slightly different, but I would definitely say that after lunch would be a good time to nap. And again, not too late into the afternoon, because if it encroaches too far into the afternoon, they're sleeping too late, it's going to potentially affect bedtimes and then have a knock-on effect for the whole night and the next morning. So it's very much a house of cards kind of thing with routine. If you manage to get the right balance for your child, then things can work out quite nicely and you can be getting the kind of amounts of sleep that you're after. Now, obviously, how to kind of get into this when you're out of it, I have shared a video, I've done a video recently about how to get your children back into a nap schedule when they've never had one before, or when they're kind of out of whack with it, when things have gone a bit wrong. So I will link that as well. So there's follow that system, which is a sort of a gentle sleep solution for getting your nap-resistant baby to nap. And then the other things to do is to just remember to kind of stick with it. If you think how quickly we can get out of whack, if you think how quickly, for example, if you've got jet lag, how quickly you even as an adult can find your sleep is sort of all over the place, and how long it takes you to recover from that. It's definitely going to take more than a day or two to to see if a routine is or is not working for your child. So I would definitely say stick with it. A day of doing one day of doing anything isn't going to make much difference, to be honest. So one day of messing it up, or one day of doing it properly, isn't going to have a long-term impact. It might have an impact for a short-term slight impact, but it's not going to have the kind of impact that you're after. So if things go horribly wrong for one day, don't stress, just start afresh the next day. If things you've done things properly and you stuck with the routine for one day and it hasn't worked, it does not mean it's not going to work for you or your baby. It just means that you need to stick with it a bit longer. So what I would say to you, Mary, is try feeding him his lunch. Do not let him sleep in the morning. So if that means, for this kind of period where you're trying to settle him into this, if there's any kind of danger nap times, I'd avoid it for the first, if you can avoid them for the first week. Like, for example, I know if my girls are really tired, putting them in the car is like a big no-no, because they will fall asleep. So if you can just avoid, make sure you're sort of keeping him awake. Have a nice, busy morning by all means, but try and keep him awake until after he's had his lunch. At very earliest, don't let him go to sleep before 12 midday, and then try just see if you can let him sleep between 90 minutes and 2 hours, and no longer than that at all. And then if you find he's still early morning waking, you can cut the time of that nap back. So I hope that helps. I hope that solution is going to work for you. Let me know in the comments if you have had a problem with early morning waking with your little ones, anything you've tried, anything that's worked for you, anything that has definitely not worked for you. Let me know. I would love to hear it. So thank you so much for watching. Please, as I said, leave me a comment. If you are catching this on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified when there's more videos. And if you're catching this on Facebook, don't forget to give the page a little bit of a like. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these kind of Q&A things. I get so many questions sent through over on my Instagram, which again I will link somewhere so you can go and follow me, and normally I just kind of DM people the answers, but sometimes I think it's quicker just to sort of jump on, do a video, and then I can send them that video where I've waffled on. It would have taken me ages to write it all out, and hopefully some other people can benefit from the information too. So that's it from me for now. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.